In the world of progressive rock, Yes is a name that looms large, an ever-evolving entity known for complex arrangements, virtuosic musicianship, and symphonic ambition. But long before Roundabout or Close to the Edge became prog rock anthems, there was a guitarist whose influence is often overlooked, Peter Banks. As the original guitarist and co-founder of Yes, Banks played a pivotal role in establishing the sonic DNA of the band, and by extension, the progressive movement itself. Born on July 15, 1947, in Barnet, North London, Peter Banks began his musical journey at a young age. He was heavily influenced by jazz and early rock and roll, developing a style that fused melody with adventurous improvisation. He joined his first band, the Nighthawks, as a teenager, and later found his footing in a band called The Sin, which also featured bassist Chris Squire. This partnership would lay the foundation for the formation of Yes. In 1968, Banks and Squire joined forces with singer John Anderson, drummer Bill Bruford, and keyboardist Tony Kaye to form a new group that would blend classical music structures with rock instrumentation. It was Banks who suggested the name Yes, short, optimistic, and visually appealing on posters. The band quickly began to develop a reputation in London's club scene for their intricate covers of The Beatles, The Byrds, and Buffalo Springfield, along with their original material that pushed musical boundaries. Banks's guitar work was a key ingredient in the band's early sound. On Yes's self-titled debut album in 1969 and the follow-up Time and a Word in 1970, his playing was clean, sharp, and often experimental. Unlike later guitarists in Yes who favored solos and virtuosity, Banks' approach was more textural, interlocking with Kaye's keyboards and Squire's bass to create complex harmonic layers. His jazz influences shone through in songs like Looking Around and Everydays, where he blended blues riffs with off-kilter time signatures and exploratory phrasing. However, creative tensions began to mount as the band evolved. During the recording of Time and a Word, orchestral arrangements were added to many of the tracks without Banks' full approval. Feeling sidelined and increasingly at odds with the direction John Anderson and the band were taking, Banks was dismissed shortly after the album's completion. He was replaced by Steve Howe, whose arrival marked a turning point in the band's commercial and artistic success. While Yes went on to achieve massive fame, Peter Banks continued his musical journey outside the spotlight. In 1971, he formed Flash, a progressive rock band that included former Yes keyboardist Tony Kaye. Flash released 3 albums, and their self-titled debut featured the hit Small Beginnings, which charted in the U.S. Lord RQS. The band showcased Banks's signature blend of melodic structure and experimental flair, though they never quite broke into mainstream success. Banks later formed Empire, a project that blended prog, rock, and new wave, though their recordings wouldn't be released until years later. Throughout the 80s and 90s, Banks remained active in the underground prog scene, recording solo albums like Two Sides of Peter Banks, and collaborating with other musicians including Phil Collins, Jan Ackerman, and members of King Crimson. His work was admired by fellow musicians for its subtlety, precision, and innovation. Despite his low profile, Peter Banks is often referred to by fans and critics as the architect of Yes. He not only helped shape the band's early identity, but also established many of the musical principles, risk-taking, genre blending, harmonic exploration, that would define the progressive rock genre. Tragically, Banks passed away in 2013 at the age of 65 from heart failure. His death was met with tributes from fans, fellow musicians, and his former bandmates in Yes, who acknowledged his foundational role in their history. Though not a household name, Peter Banks' influence continues to ripple through the corridors of progressive rock, in every layered guitar part and bold musical detour that dares to go beyond the verse-chorus formula. Peter Banks may not have stayed with Yes long enough to bask in the arena rock glow, but his vision helped light the path for one of rock's most ambitious bands. In the world of music, sometimes the true innovators are the ones who leave just before the world catches on.